Charles Neity. And
hello,
good
good afternoon to you.
Likewise, and good afternoon, Ismail Tekin. Pleasure to meet you both here at the World Finance Congress in Dubai. Likewise. So let me start with Charles. I believe you have set up FVTURA, and Ismail, you have set up the World Impact Forum under World Impacteurs.
Yeah.
I would like to first start off with Charles and see how the two of you have blended a business synergy model for driving business beyond barriers.
Yes, so we've, FVTURA have created a platform which in essence is one that matches investors with startups in the social impact sphere. What we've done, it's more than that, it's an ecosystem. So we are, and it's global, and we're working with family office networks, funds, some of these global sustainable funds, to whose members themselves will be either the investors or founders of companies. And the algorithms will basically match the two. And how it will work is that we work with people like World Impact Forum or World Impacteurs. We'll also help with them to create a fund, and we'll also work with them to create systemic change. And what we want to do is to try and be a disruptor. We want to basically cut out the middlemen in terms of the investment banks and so on, lawyers, and charging large fees for our both our startups and investors. So it's and the whole ethos behind it is to really support founders so that the failure rate is much reduced. It's very high at the moment. And if we feel if we can bring it down, this will be a big social impact.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now moving over to Ismail, as the founder of World Impactors, you obviously have a niche and a natural passion for community building and building community networks. So I think the synergy between you two gentlemen with FVTURA to try cutting off the middlemen and creating your own unique community is a fantastic opportunity. But how do you see yourself creating this ethos in bridging the B2B and G2G level so that you can drive business together?
I think if you look at what was previously known as market makers, I think the way you can consider us is community makers. Maybe something that was slightly overlooked. So we're having conversations now in terms of working with venture studios, venture builders, startups, bringing a sense of community to them, something that maybe sits between PR and marketing or wherever in that chain of an organisation. What we do is we tie up the entrepreneurs and the starters with venture studios, venture builders. They mentor them, they work with them, and through the community and through FVTURA, we have a huge pipeline of companies and entrepreneurs. So we're able to give them something to slot into and be a part of something larger. And then when they're churned out on the other end through the venture studios and the venture builders, the mentorship, the investor, the pitches that they do, they come into the community, and then we take them for a series of events. We help them build their community, etc. And then we introduce them to the investors that we work with. So our fourth pillar really is around investor management and what we call conscious capital. So it's a niche area that is ultimately shifting the needle.
Fantastic. Now when you talk about conscious investors, do you think that family offices are the right step in the right direction? Because for them it is almost second to none. It's been in their pulse for generations. It's just that now we're giving it a more structured and fancy perspective like family offices and philanthropic endeavors. Within that philanthropic endeavors we have the social impact. Where do you see yourself as a businessman or an entrepreneur and in terms of the value proposition and return on investment for your own businesses?
I mean, for me personally, I sit in that nexus of bringing the best in class together. Something that arose 3 years ago when we World Impact Forum, or the Impactors, is a spin-off of a 14-year initiative of social entrepreneurship. So when that was born, our PR, who's still with us, she's currently in the US, and she's driving the World Impact Forum there, and some exciting events that we're privy to there. And I was maybe naive at the time. She said that the change will come from family offices. And the more I've got into this and scratched the surface, it actually is. All you need is 1 or 2 members from a family office that have this real passion, and they're not all about the ROI, they're all about the intention and the intergenerational change. Those few people can actually make all the difference. So we're looking for those few key players within the private wealth, because it's less bureaucratic. The VC model seems to be flawed now. You know, people are less inclined to give away equity, and they're looking at more mentor-based startups, and mentors surround themselves with mentors. So I think it's the key, private wealth.
Yeah. So basically, yes, with us, we're into sustainability and also the sustainability FVTURA. So we've set ourselves up as an NGO, and we are the founders will get some shares, but staff will also get shares. But these are all going to be capped. So even if the FVTURA becomes very large and has a high valuation, none of us will benefit from that. Because what we want to do is then the company will buy out over the time the investors, the founders, and the staff, and it will create a foundation which will be permanent.